In this video, we're going to describe what food web is, and we're also going to give an example of a food web using this blank illustration and this arrow. So later on, we're going to fill in this illustration using this arrow. So what is a food web? Food web is a several food chain that is put together and are interconnected. So in this example, so just like in the food chain that we had a while ago, we're going to start with the plant, which is the producer. So among all these four organisms, which do you think eat plant? Okay, so there are two possible answers. One is the rabbit and the other one is the bird. So remember in our lesson on plant reproduction, so birds are one of the helpers in distributing the seeds in different areas so plants can reproduce. So we can consider birds as primary consumer, also rabbit because we know that rabbit eat carrots, right? So I'm gonna put an arrow coming from a plant towards the rabbit. Okay. And another arrow coming from the plant as well towards the birds to signify that they both eat the plant. So I'm gonna make this a different color. All right. So we are now on the two primary consumers. So this rabbit can either be eaten by the eagle or by the snake. So we know that eagle are both carnivores or secondary consumer. They are fed with meat. So I'm gonna put arrow from the rabbit towards the eagle to signify that the rabbit is being eaten by the eagle. And another from the rabbit towards the snake. So I'm gonna make this a little different. Okay, so you will know why I will put two arrows in here later on. Okay, now the birds. Okay, so I'm not gonna put arrow from the bird towards the eagle, but instead I'm gonna put an arrow from the bird towards the snake because I think it's more probable that the birds are get eaten by the snake than getting eaten by another bird, which is eagle. So we're just gonna put it that way. All right. Now our food web example is complete. Now we're gonna identify the several food chains that are present in this food web, which are interconnected. Okay, so that's the reason why I differentiated the colors of the arrows. Okay, so let's have the first food chain. So we're gonna follow this arrow with solid pink color. So we'll start with plant getting eaten by the rabbit, and then the rabbit getting eaten by the eagle. So that's food chain number one. Food chain number two is the plant getting eaten by the rabbit. It's like the first food chain, but this time it's gonna get eaten by the snake. So this is food chain number two. So we have food chain number one and then food chain number two. So food chain number three is plant getting eaten by the bird, and the bird is getting eaten by the snake. So this is food chain number three. So there are three food chains in this food web. So in the next slide, you're gonna do the same thing, but with a different blank food web. So it's up to you how you're gonna put the arrows. So you just have to think which organisms is gonna be eaten by which organism.